Africa.
Beloz, why are you the talk talk? Not so we get this program.
Now we not the husband material.
No, we not husband material.
Ollie,
Never
Sam,
show.
are we good to go? And please, I would like you to speak English. Please. I don't. We love the start.
Okay, so why you really make like a you forget just stuff? But anyway, guys, it's been quite a journey. For some of you, it's been 30 odd years. Like me, it's been a couple of just 2 decades in my 20s. You know, looking like a whole snack. But it's just amazing how when you look at how far we've come, but then I feel like it's only been yesterday that we started these journeys and we still have so much more to do. Like, I don't know about you, but I just feel that we're at a point where we're still growing, we're still evolving, but we're in a groove, we're in a flow where we're settled, we're confident in who we are, in what we do-ish, maybe-ish.
Maybe.
Who knows? But so Beloz, what would you tell that small Beloz, Peking Beloz, little Beloz? What would you tell you sitting here now with all what you've been through or what you've done? Don't tell us some of the things you've done. Keep it PG for this pilot, please. But what would you tell young Beloz? What would you tell young Ibrahim Bangura?
So for starters, we say Ibrahim Bangura, pause a minute, because I think there are very few people in this life who they call me by my government name.
I don't.
But I think that's an interesting one. So looking back, I think I'll tell a young me that it's okay to just be you, whether you come across as arrogant or stuck up or spoiled or whatever it is. And I say this, Binta, because grew up an only child. Boundaries, can't go here and not do a lot of things, did things differently. And I went through a phase where I wanted to be liked. I wanted to be a people's person. I wanted to fit into every sphere, every circle. And I have, interestingly, one of my friends and we go there on subsequent episodes, Zemwiki always point out, say, there's the real Ibrahim, and then there's that Ibrahim that tries to blend in. And she always says, you're that person where in a minute you realize, say, okay, I don't draw into my bubble way too much. So you put yourself out there. You're going out, you're clubbing, you're interacting, everything. And in the middle of that, maybe you're out clubbing with friends and you just snap and realize, okay, yeah, no, I need to be in my space and everything. So I think just the struggles of letting certain people into your life, getting close to certain people, doing things you didn't really want to do, in hindsight, knowing what I know now, I would tell that 10-year-old, that little kid, that it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're an only child. You can't change what that has done to you. That is nurture right there. Like, lean into it, be your own person, and those people that matter, they will embrace you for who you are. And those people that don't embrace you, that's fine too.
That's their loss.
Exactly. So I think that is it for me, really.
Just telling little Beloz that you're good enough.
Yeah.
That you're good enough, that everything you do, good, bad, ugly, is good enough.
Absolutely.
It'll be all right.
Absolutely.
And then you have your musketeer there, the other side of you, Mr. Green.
Mr. Bankole.
Oh,
Bankole.
Lord.
Omobanki.
Good Creole boy. What would you tell you? Like, what would you tell Melvick before? I would honestly say even before having a child, because we know it's Sophia. I think.
So you think the year we don't come on and get picking?
I think a different you. I think a lot of our conversations are way different.
I think we'll make up for our losses. I think so. Probably that changed the fact that, and obviously, because there are certain things were going to happen to you in life that you do not want to repeat. Not necessarily that you've done them, but happened for some reason. So I think the further thing is a bit different because I try to. Sometimes I even think I overplay my hand, but it's safe. It's safer overplaying it than not playing it at all. But one thing for me that would stand out or tell myself is, I think when one person who don't change careers the most. So I have worked in different sectors. If I put it that way, first year after college, we all decided, oh no, we're too cool for school, so we're doing business and all of that. Yeah. Well, of course, we failed woefully, and I had no option but to go to the bank because it was just my natural habitat. Because parents, well, my mom has been at the bank for 30-something plus years, so it was just easy to just go into that. But then again, saying my natural habitat is, I think this is where we failed ourselves, or that is where our parents failed us, if we can say they failed us, because they actually pushed us into these boxes. So one thing I tell myself is, just do what you want to do. It's a bit of that being yourself, but I think for career or anything, for me probably I'd be an excellent electrical engineer. But I remember clearly from 3 after I became, CS for go science thing. Like, okay.
Melvic!
I know, but that was just pushing me to do what they wanted me to do. Because I think, and for different, my family is actually I have a very strong, supportive family. So I think it's not aggressive, it's more of passive aggressiveness. Oh, I think it go better if you do law. Oh, I think you bank, no one told you anything. Like they're not telling you to do it. But my granny be always born for be lawyer and able be lawyer. So I think my first grand picking for be lawyer. So that's just plain. So I even started the University of London law thing. So I did that. I've done economics, I've done international finance, bit of procurement, bit of project management, and look at me now working in media. So I probably think now I am actually enjoying this because I'm fixing things and it's more tangible than me writing papers. Because I've done a lot of writing papers and doing concepts and all of that. But that's not as tangible as this is. So I think the younger me would just do what I am really comfortable with instead of being pushed into something. And I think, we try to fit. I think that's something that's really common. Because even for our careers, we try to fit. It's funny I'm still talking about careers because last week I had a very deep conversation about careers because I went to my child's career
day.
Fair
the fair.
And most of the kids were there as doctors, lawyers, and I was thinking my child has been singing since day one. Dress her up as a Beyonce.
Yeah,
that's just
Queen Bee.
That's just banter, but yeah.
Can't go wrong with being Beyonce.
But yeah, I think for me that would be the standard thing.
It's interesting. So every time Melvic talks, it dawns on me how similar we are, yet so different. But I think it ties into the general conversation of the journeys we have been on. We have very similar stories because, as they talk about law, for me, my daddy talks so much about how in dream na been for be lawyer that automatically by the time I tell my mommy, say I want to go into acting, I send my mommy long email about this is my passion, why I would want to do it. I don't fail school, New York Film Academy, and all she said was, we will discuss. Thanks. I didn't mean career, and I done. That was it. And before you know it, I was off to Frobe College and they go do law and everything. So it's interesting how we just share very similar stories, but we're very, very different people. But I've lived with Melvic. I've spent a lot of time with Melvic. I know Melvic's
we don't want to hear those stories.
No, we might come to that later on. Might. But that is us. I can relate.
Leona Mama did not watch the episode, please.
I think I have known Binta for quite a long time. We've come a long
I'm still in my
way.
20s, but go ahead.
We've come a long way. But I think just things have happened as we journey through life, we don't meet different workplace them and all of that, that there are times when I realize that as much as we are close, we've come a long way, there are things about you that I'm still finding out.
Yep.
I'm still learning and everything. So I'm curious just where you are now as a person. Say don't change careers and everything and all of that. When you reflect, when you look back, what's that thing where you think, say, you figure out much later in life that you would tell, say, a teenage Binta, the Binta just after the NPSC, fresh into school and all of that?
So whilst you guys were speaking, something dawned on me. As you said, our stories are similar in terms of finding ourselves, finding acceptance, embracing our passions and things that we love doing, letting go of other people's expectations. And one thing that I think we do also share in common and has held us to that is we're first kids.
Ah, yes, coincidentally.
True.
We are. One thing
true.
I would tell Binta in her teenage years and being a first child is don't be afraid of disappointing people. Because I feel in trying to find, as you say, in being liked, in finding acceptance, we have followed the rules because we don't want to disappoint. We are the role models. We are, hey, if you are lucky, or do you want to be, you all are lucky, even though you're an only child. But you were held to that expectation, most especially you're the oldest son. So I would tell teenage Binta, do not be afraid of messing up because you are going to mess up. Life is going to get messy, but you're going to get through it. And do not be afraid of disappointing people. I think it really ties into what you said about following your passions. Because same story as you, I wanted to be a lawyer because I had so much admiration for my auntie who was the Chief Justice, Umuti Janjalo. I just wanted to be like Auntie Umu. I just, looking at her, Grace, Riga, I just wanted to be a lawyer. And then my mama is like, hey, and I can't really, being a parent now, I can't really blame our parents because they were really trying to set us up for excellence, right? They were trying to take care of us, trying to secure us. So that's why they're like, oh no, go do something, go make you money. So my mom is like, if you go arts, just know you can end up be teacher, just know I'm also the pay teacher. So I went into the sciences, hated maths and chemistry.
Tell me about it.
Loved my literature. Then I went into economics and it was just finding my way. And then up to like last year, I was like, you know what? I need to stop fighting this and tap into my creativity because that's what I enjoy doing. So yeah, I would tell teenage Binta, don't be afraid of disappointing people. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to live up to any expectation and you will mess up. And as you said, Beloz, those that love you will love you regardless. They'll be disappointed, but they'll love you. And I think I said this in another panel we were on, right? That the perfection is the imperfection because our imperfections make us that unique. They make us walk into rooms and everyone is like, oh, na Beloz, oh, na Melvick, na Binta, Dani. So yeah, I think I would tell, that's what I would tell teenage Binta, that you're going to mess up, you're going to disappoint people, but guess what? It's okay. It's all right. We're humans. Yeah.
It's actually very good that you point out that we're all first. I not been thinking about that, but then I think that's a box or a prison that we've been in that we do not want to fail and all of that.
Yes. And
subconsciously there is this, I don't want to say level or out of the box responsibility that we feel so for. There's some height we think so for.
Of course.
And good thing is I do not think we're raising our kids like that.
Hopefully.
We're not. We're picking them a bit free.
Yes, of course.
When we were kids, you cannot even express yourself properly because if you express yourself, you first you're ambitious. But what come down, but boy, they make so. First time, if you even pick paper and go for it and they go beat you. Like, you know, even if you go pull the paper.
Or talk middle adults.
We encourage our kids to speak up. Like, so I think we're building a better generation. Not that our parents made mistakes or anything, but like you said, they were setting us up for a proper life.
Yeah.
But then again, the mistakes that they made is most of the thing with advice people and they're not get zero idea about that.
Yeah.
So now this is a big man talk, but say you invest in $100,000. Probably your parents never invested $100,000.
Oh,
How didn't invest? How didn't they advise
no, they don't ever see that money.
No, even invest there as an
Right now, you
But-
tell
so
your
how did they
mama,
invest?
oh, but $100 if it's like,
Yes.
eh.
Yes. So now, are you expecting personally for advice you for $100? That's the only thing do you give a fair.
Yeah.
Like how for $100,000. So
Yeah.
I think it was just our parents playing safe, and I think it's something that we've learned that for, in as much as now I can look. I think the other day they asked me, almost here you go left you picking for level gonna street. I was like never. Like who's the go left for level gonna junction? I was like never. And I thought to myself, oh shoot, now the same mistake I made my mama make so because I'm not gonna street tech. I think I go to my school.
Yeah.
And I think why even go to my school, they give me lunch bowl and they go left me at school. So
Can
I was
you
the other
imagine?
one at my school.
Yeah.
Like lunch bowl I was about to know my school.
Yeah.
Then you get a whole lunch pack and all of that. So I think it's a good blend. I think I'm looking forward to all of this. But again,
and it's telling younger Binta that you will fail. I do now accept that my kids will fail, that they will disappoint me, that they will not go the path that I
that
want
is
them to
fine
go,
too.
and that is
and what's even
perfectly
disappointment?
okay.
Disappointments are things that we can don't put all the way.
Yeah, the expectations and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody sets yourself
Absolutely.
up for disappointment. Those are the disappointments.
That's another thing I think I would tell younger Binta, don't assume for people. Because again, some of these expectations, I think we put them on ourselves.
Self-imposed,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
No one asked us to be studio parents or to take on this responsibility or this seriousness. Because really, we had so much fear of failing our parents and ourselves that, okay, so if you be fail, like I remember in college, I was failing my modules. And I was so afraid of disappointing my parents that I didn't tell them, say, for now, when they expect graduation, then I get for explain now to Nene and Baba say a couple of carry forwards.
You know?
But then, really, what would have happened
If you
if
don't
I
tell
had
them.
told
Sometimes
them
you don't even
in
friends
year one?
But you know, when you're saying all of this now, this is so interesting because all of us studied and
Our stories are similar.
Tied to we're all tied to society. Because like me, graduation, I had a very I don't say bad degree is a degree that half of the country get. But when the
It's a gentleman's degree.
the day for graduation, when they tell me say this graduation is proportional to your suit, like, oh man, why are you disrespecting me? You know what I got this place? I did a lot.
Like you, mama.
No, I did a lot.
Like
I
you,
did
mama.
I even put an on tell. I want to be listening. That black label will be lost. I don't go down here for
You for just don't wear shirts and
because
bodies. Why you wear suits?
Or
For one lights.
for me.
You know, but here's what I want to say. As soon as they talk about, failures and everything, I'm just thinking on a much lighter note, we get evidence of failure. They fail GC O level, fail me in a college, get reference,
Get you in Admat.
fail me in a law school. So
And it's interesting that, so this comes back, I mean, our journey, right? Our journeys are still evolving, because I actually had this conversation a few weeks ago with my daughter, because I don't think our kids even realized that we did mess up, that we did fail.
because it's a
She was
different
so
generation.
shocked that
Binta.
I failed Admats at O levels, because everyone's like, oh, your mom's so smart, she got the highest in MPSC. I was like, girl.
But we
Along
parents
the way.
them, if you remember, we parents them, not ever they talk with
No,
that
they always
second.
they come first. They always
But
they come
always
first.
Uda they come first.
Top
That was
10,
always the threshold.
they're not ambo one in
so
a school.
We parents say Uda na ya go able to talk by in daddy mama generation. Uda na be the last man. at class.
No.
You know they all me they come
Go for
first.
offend the last man. Wait, go for offend
You
the
know,
last man.
offend this last man.
But
Maybe along
Yeah.
your journey, we'll go offend the
Yes.
last Monday.
Sorry.
So this is a starter. I think just going through all of this, there's that recognition that, there are different sides to people. We have been through different things. Some people see you on the outside. They don't know your story. They don't know what you've been through. Somebody like me, there are some people sabi the Ibrahim. Some people sabi the Beloz. Some people sabi both. I know if I told myself in the third person, because then people will think I don't begin to create small. But I think there's just now that recognition that it's time I told my story, at least the part of it that I want to tell, the part that I am comfortable telling, so people understand, where I've come from, where I am going, what I have been through, and people can resonate. I think the main focus of that would be for people to realize that you're not alone. It's okay. This path you're on, people have walked this path, and you know the old adage of don't ever judge a book by its cover. You might think you know my story is a spoiled only child, don't get the best life, but when we drill down into it, you will see that there has been success, you know, failures, difficult choices, decisions, friendships, betrayals, whatever it is. So I'm hoping you'll stick along. You'll come with me as I tell my story and you get to meet the man behind the name.